welcome to Coffee Break with Opportunity Embassy. We're all set up. Cheers. Episode 1. We decided to start Coffee Break because we've had some random things go on this week and figured it was a good time to launch this series. So Krista, tell me about your shopping trips this week.
Well, basically, Charlotte is saying we've started this because I need to rant.
Ranting's good.
Yeah, well, it's more of an educated rant, I guess,
Yes.
for
Yes.
educational purposes. This is my home office in my guest room here that we're filming this in, and I was actually going to a local supplier, Staples, in Terralosa in West Edmonton, to do quite a hefty purchase for kind of a weekend champion like myself, and I was going to spend a hefty amount of money, and I was going to get a filing cabinet that doesn't look like a filing cabinet would fit if I have guests, and then also this wonderful chair that you're sitting in.
It's great.
Yeah.
It's very comfy.
I phoned you right after my experience because I was
Yes.
so upset by it. But then I guess we'll reflect on it later, but first I'll tell you what happened to me. I was in the store for quite a while, spending about an hour picking out lots and lots of things I don't even need. That I love office supplies.
It's an addiction.
It is.
It's like nerds like Star Trek growing up.
I even bought a purple Sharpie. I love purple.
She's a purple girl, I'm the red girl.
Exactly. So I was waiting around for some other people to finish their shopping, and I was served, and the chair that you're sitting on is on sale, quite a good markdown, and there was none left in stock. So I asked the worker, who was a young student, I said, can I get this chair? And he said, no, we only have our 2 floor models left. It's all sold out. You'll have to go to another store. And I said, well, I'm here with my cart full, and I was also going to buy one of those filing cabinets. Are you sure you want me to just leave all my stuff? Because if I'm going to another store,
You're not
I'm
going to
just
come.
going to...
Yeah.
Why piecemeal it? I'll just buy all
Yeah.
my stuff at that store.
Yeah.
And he said, okay. And I said, do you want to ask your manager first and see? Because while he was gone, I started Googling Staples kind of customs or regulations on discounts that they can offer.
She
on
is a
full
nerd.
models.
She's standing in Staples on her smartphone seeing what approvals of discounts are.
Yeah.
That'd be great. It's great.
Well, who knows if it's true or not, but word on the Google street was that store managers have authority to offer up to 15% off of a floor model in order to do keep the sale, as they call it, so keep it in their store to count towards their revenues, which made sense to me. I thought that's
model.
kind of an industry standard for floor model thing.
Yep.
Any industry, actually.
Yep.
So the manager comes and I said, hi, I'd really like that chair. I don't really care if it's a floor model or not. I've got over $500 worth of other stuff I'm getting, including that filing cabinet. Would you mind just giving me a 15% discount on the floor model so I can just take it out to my car and get on my way? Nope. Yeah, and they still have the backup floor model in case they have an urgent need for floor models. So this is what I'm thinking, and he just said no.
But Google!
Yeah.
Said.
I said, well, what do you mean no? He said, we just don't do that. And I said, yeah, but Google says you do. And he just said no, and I said, well, I'm really shocked that you're not going to do this. He said, no, go to another store. I said, how about if the other store is your competitor? Do you still want me to go to another store? I'm not trying to be facetious or anything. I'm just actually shocked.
Kind of stunning.
Yeah, I was just kind of shocked at the business practice. So I said, really, like when I walk out of here, I could go to a competitor, not just another Staples. So I left, and I actually drove 30 minutes to Grand & Toy downtown, and was 30 minutes back to my house again, so significant time on a weekend to be fooling around with this. Go to Grand & Toy, and I find that the prices they're charging for binders and the basic stuff I need is $2 more an item. And when I was buying a lot, so it's going to add up quickly.
Well, and Grandin Toy is one of those that makes a lot of money on the recurring corporate sales.
Right,
so
they're
their
more
front
corporate.
end stores are going to probably not have the price points
Yeah,
that you would
because
have
they're very
as a
well
large
known
business.
for discounted corporate accounts.
Yes.
Staples, on the other hand, their target customer is owner-managed businesses like mine that you don't have the big volume to get a corporate Grandin Toy account or make it worth your while. So you go into Staples, you pick up what you need, and I said, I don't mind. I actually explained now there wasn't a manager in the store because it was I think a Sunday.
Okay.
So it was entry-level staff, which is understandable. But I asked them, I said, I just had an incident with Staples.
So you told them that there was,
Yeah. And I actually haven't told you this, but I'll enlighten you as to what actually happened. I didn't want to. Maybe I shouldn't. I don't know. But anyway.
Oh, you opened the door. And
okay, I'll finish it. So I actually asked them. I told them I had an incident with Staples. I'm interested in moving all my purchasing over to Grandin Toy. However, I can't really justify paying an extra $2 over top of what already is a reasonable markup. Do you guys price match Staples? And she said, why just Staples? And I said, well, I'm trying to price match Staples. And she said, well, do you need Staples? What, industrial Staples or like for the stapler?
No.
And I was like, no, like your competitor Staples. And she said, well, what is that? And so I actually had to explain to the entry-level staff on what price matching was.
Oh, okay, so if you are a business owner with staff that is below management level in your company, I have seen this happen many times where the training is not, it's more to function the cash register than to really understand basic sales principles and basic marketing principles, because they are the first people.
Yeah, they should be taught how to make a sale, how to keep a sale, and now in the world of couponing, grouponing, and price matching, they need to know what those things are and if they can do them. These staff, and by this time, I'm not interested in spending any more time on office supplies, so I didn't ask for the manager. I assumed he wasn't there, but basically they said they had never heard of it. They don't do that. So they said, Staples is just 2 blocks that way. You just go out that exit and turn left, and I'm going, you're telling me to go to Staples?
Giving you directions to their competitor.
Exactly.
The manager would have a fit.
Because basically she was trying to be helpful. If I'm concerned about matching Staples' price, why don't I just go shop at Staples instead of their store?
But you had told her that, again, we won't dissect this more than necessary, but it brings up some really good teaching points. It was really what we wanted to video blog on this. Because there's a couple things going on. Making sure everyone has a basic understanding of sales and marketing. Even just really simple level in your staff. But this brings up a good point about the power of consumers now versus, say, 10, 20 years ago.
And which is, I think, why I was shocked all along. Because in the restaurant industry now and the hospitality industry, there's all these, like Urban Spoon, you can be you don't have control over whether your company's listed. And you don't have control over what your rating is. It's a conversation that's taking place.
And they're new marketing platforms,
they
essentially.
Are.
That
you can get good word of mouth.
Yes.
You can get 4 stars, 5 stars, and people passing your name and your company around Facebook. You can also get crazy bad media, in which case you need to be involved in that conversation.
Yes, you do. And that is really the way things have gone now, with so much social media and online marketing and the ability for people to give reviews. If in the past someone was upset about a purchase or some treatment, for example, I had some issues with the phone company here, and a cell phone company, and I would rant and rave because I all worked up. It was just infuriating. And what happens is I'm going to talk to my personal network. I'm going to, my 200 and some friends on Facebook or, my close friends. But you are not likely going to be so emotionally upset at my story that you're going to go spread it to your network. But if I now have control to go on and write a negative review or post this, if you are a blogger, if you have a great online influence, you have larger channels. And that's something that companies that are going to stay around longer understand. For example, TripAdvisor. I'm not sure if you've ever used that. It's fantastic. And they have some of the best quality reviews in that travel industry. And I think restaurants and travel, you are very discerning about your money. If you're going to go to a higher end restaurant,
Nobody
you
wants a
don't want
bad
to
time.
take a chance. Exactly, exactly. You don't want to end up in a hotel that if you did a little research, I've been in those positions.
Yeah.
So you read some of these, and it makes a
And
big
they're
difference.
user generated, which is why I'm very influenced by them.
Yes.
If it's good, I'll try it all day long. If it's bad, you're gonna have to try really hard to convince me.
One of the hotels that I was looking at for a recent business trip to Europe on TripAdvisor, it had had some negative reviews, a pattern of negative reviews. And the owner of the business actually went on and said, I want to clear things up. I really appreciate all the feedback. We are under new management. We put $1.5 million back in to get this going, so please try us out. That to me said volumes because they care.
Yeah, and it shows they've taken action.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
Same with restaurants. Like I did end up getting hungry. Well, and then I was kind of in and out of Urban Spoon, these other little rating apps, just kind of being like, you know what? What if I was, so angry that I put a bunch of stuff everywhere on Google ratings and whatnot. And I was on Urban Spoon, and then I was like, okay, maybe I'll pick something. And I happened to come across a restaurant. I won't name names, but I know it was launched just in the last few months. And the restaurant itself doesn't have much of a web presence. So the Urban Spoon listing was obviously created by someone who just went there and was a patron of it. And there's only 3 or 4 reviews, but there's some negative ones there. And I was thinking, I wonder if the owner even knows to check this.
Of course, because traditional marketing channels, you are in control of your business. You don't even.
And I've had so many business clients and other businesses I interact with where they think of it as, should I have a social media policy? Should I go out and put myself into social media? But a lot of times they don't realize it's not your choice. It's going to be there whether you have a website or not. It doesn't matter if you have a website. It doesn't matter if you have a Facebook account. It doesn't matter if you are actively engaging that. Your customers can actually create these listings for your own business. You have no control over it. The only thing you can do is participate in the conversation.
And we both can help you out with that if you really are more interested in what kind of platforms are out there that your business may be listed on. Or maybe you want to get there first before other customers get on there, and then you can be in control of your online presence. We would love to hear from you. Just drop us an email, info@Opportunity Embassy, and we can send you some information on that.
And we might put some links up too of things we've chatted about today, and also I think some surveys we can put up.
Yeah, we're going to set up a survey for if you're a business, and then from a consumer perspective, if you're a business, how involved are you in following the buzz about your company, and just some things from that perspective. If you're from a consumer perspective, how much do these type of reviews online really influence your buying and decisions? We're really curious about that.
I'm very influenced. I'll go by what the cohorts say.
And we're seeing more of that because life is digital, right?
You and I were talking earlier about highlighting some opportunities for you guys.
Yes.
You think Canada has a monopoly. I know when I was working in Tanzania, to get a highlighter, there is very few importers of office supplies. And you would not be able to find a purple Sharpie in Tanzania. That is
How did you do it?
No, there is none. No, there wouldn't be none there. I mean, even highlighters, your choices are yellow, and you might be able to get an orange or pink. Like, you can't get...
So it's a real big market opportunity.
Because basically, there's lots of markets where there's not a lot of competition. And so even in Canada, we don't have a lot of competition for office supplies. Imagine the markets out there for someone who just shows a little ingenuity. And
that's great. So check out our surveys. We'll put up the links. And again, if you're interested in knowing more about managing your online presence for your business, drop us an email. Thanks.